it's all very well to talk about it, but I notice actually that you've all finished, well, most of you have finished eating, so I reckon let's not talk about coaching, let's do some coaching. And we have done a little exercise. Actually, Stacey holds the world record. She did this little exercise with the group. Can you imagine one of our largest software manufacturers? And they had a very big workshop, big team workshop that went for 4 days. And Stacey did a keynote presentation on Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. after the main meal with 130 leaders. So you can imagine what they would be like. So what I'm going to do is I've got a room of 50 or 60 people in Canberra in 4 degrees outside. I reckon we can do some coaching. What do you think? Say yes. I reckon if these guys from this big software manufacturer can do it at 9:30 p.m. on the Saturday night after a 4-day conference, we can do a bit of coaching. So this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to watch my time here. David, you'll keep an eye on me because I get carried away, so thank you. Okay, so we can change the organisational culture around by dragging people from, you would be familiar with this concept, from dragging them from below the line to above the line. Okay? And by asking coaching questions, we can actually do that. So below the line from our point of view is blaming and deference, and it's not taking responsibility. And what we want to do is drag them up above the line. So take responsibility, be accountable, ask good questions, look at the possibilities and the options. This little diagram, I've had many leaders just draw this little diagram on a flip chart paper. And just draw a line. Enough of this, negativity and dragging us down. We want to be, find a workplace that we can be proud of. And this little diagram is how they've actually done it. What do you hear in the workplace that's quite below the line? What statements do you hear? You hear things like, oh, that can't be done. This will never work. We don't have budget. The director won't approve it, all this sort of stuff. And it sort of shuts us down in terms of what the possibilities actually are. All we need to do, and you would have seen this tool before. By the way, if anyone wants a copy of this slide, we'll do a business card draw afterwards. So just pop your business card in there or something and write that you'd like a copy of the slides and we'll send it to you. So don't worry if you're busily writing things down. So, asking one great coaching question at a time, you would have seen this. What we're going to do is reframe the question, okay? So, if someone says this is too hard, or this can't be done, or I don't know what to do here, or etc., that type of, honestly, those type of statements, you spread that throughout an organisation and you do it day in and day out. Who wants to rock up to work in an organisation like that? It's like, in our house we go, no way. Okay, so we don't want that. We want workplaces where people are thinking about possibilities, where they're actually inspired and moving along. So this is what we're going to do, and this is the game. We're going to do speed. We're going to do some speed reframing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find. I know we're going to get on our feet. Can you believe that? In Canberra at 7 a.m. you can stretch. You can do whatever you want. You can get, we've already got some people stretching. What we're going to do, okay, you're going to sidle up to someone. You can meet people, it's good. You're going to sidle up to someone, pick someone particularly handsome. Paul, I'm looking at you, so you're under pressure here, okay. You're going to sidle up to someone and you're going to say something that's a bit negative that you hear in the workplace, right? So I'm going to say to Paul, we can't, this is too hard. Right? And he is going to come up, instead of going, well, instead of trying to solve my problem, because he's a purpose-built problem solver, instead of trying to solve my problem and say, have you thought of this, have you thought of this, have you thought of this? No. Paul's going to go, well, how can you make it easier? Or something like that. He's going to come up with a great coaching question. Okay? Got the idea? And then he's going to give me one back. And I'm going to come up with a great coaching question. Now, how do you do this reframing? You've only got 2 minutes to do it, so we need to really rock and roll. Okay, what you do... Oh, sorry. Oh, no. I was supposed to hit the blue button. Oh, now I've mucked it up. Not to worry. What you need to do is you need to come up with the negative statement. Here it comes. And reframing is taking the negative word, turning it into a positive, which is easy, and then putting a question before it, how, what, who, where. Okay? So if someone says this is too hard, you could take the opposite, which is easy, and then put how, what, who, or where, and make it into a question. So what could we say? This is too hard. We can go, who could make it easier? Where could this be? What was that one? Someone said something? I heard that. He's being naughty, that's okay. Time for naughty in a minute. How can you make it easier? What could make it easier? Where could this be easier? Got it? Are you ready? Okay, so we're going to get on our feet. We're going to do this. Come on, we can do it. We're going to get on our feet and stretch a little bit. Now, bump into someone, give them a negative comment, and then give them back a good coaching question. Everybody, let's come back together now. There we go. Okay, you take your seats now, that's the way. Taking your seats. Well done. Okay. Okay, you can take your seats now, that's the way. Well done. Well done, Canberra and 4 degrees. Okay. So, what was the best reframe? Anyone care? Anyone care to share? What was the best comment you heard? What was the best below the line comment you heard? Anyone? And what was the reframe? Anyone care to share? Shout it out. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm from Defence, and I had another colleague from Defence raise the one that we always get. And it was about the budget. We've got, we can't do it, there's no budget. So how do you reframe that? Because that is just so common. And so our response to that was, well, what can we do differently with what we've got?
Fantastic. Wonderful reframe. I like to say, well, who's got the budget? So if you don't have it, who's got it? It's got to be somewhere. Come on. Is it under here? Or one more?
It's not in my duty statement. No idea. No, we looked at, well, your next duty statement as you go up the ladder may have it in.
Yes, I have. So the question, the key thing here is to ask a question. So how would doing this now help your future duty statements? And the other question I like for this is not in my duty statement. It's a big one. It's sort of on your tool belt. It's an important one. You pull it out every now and again. You can simply say, well, it may not be in your duty statement, but how can you contribute? I love that word. How could you contribute? Yeah. How could you help the team? How could you, come together as a team? Where could you make a contribution? And if you use that word contribution, I've never seen anyone that says, well, I can't contribute. And if they do, you just say, well, where could you contribute? How could you contribute? Okay, got some ideas? So if this is coaching, I'd make you do action items and all this sort of stuff, but we're running short of time. So I'm going to hand over to David, and all I can say is if you take this one little tool, this one little idea, and you take this back into your workplace, the culture of your workplace can start to change one coaching question at a time. And at the break, I can talk to you about all the organisations that have actually been able to do that. It's quite inspiring. Thank you. I'll hand back to David.